let's talk about the indie releases coming our way July 2025, and it's got one of my most anticipated series finales in here, so I am very excited. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is the self-pub fantasy slash sci-fi slash horror releases of July 2025. It is a big list. There is a lot happening this month, and I'm really excited for a couple of these personally, and I hope you all are too. Like I said, big list. Let's just jump into it with July 1st, starting us off with Michael R. Fletcher's Descent to Azakmar. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. This is the Driftland Dragons, book number 1. It looks like this. It is so adorable. This says, centuries ago, the mighty dragon Commonwealth fragmented after warring with the Q-Sun sorcerers. In the years since, the different types of dragons have retreated to their driftlands, floating mountains hanging above the endless boiling deep. When Corlana, niece to the Queen of Tamost, sees a tantalizing driftland covered in ancient ruins pass below her home, she bullies her best friend into joining her on an adventure. After descending to explore the sprawling remains, the young dragons learn that Q-Sun are using this driftland as a launch point for their next invasion. While spying on the invaders, Corlana discovers her aunt, the Queen of Tamost, has betrayed her subjects and made a deal with the foul sorcerers. Faced with Nox Mortua, dragons who prey on other dragons, Rockspur with their stone-melting breath, and an army of evil Q-San sorcerers, Corlana must find a way to save her home. It looks cute. It doesn't sound all that cute. Hopefully, Corlana can save her home. Also, on the 1st of July, we had the pilot. This is The Last Horizon, book number 4 by Will White. Will White, however you pronounce it. I'll put the cover up here. I might use this side for the covers this time around just because there seems to be more room there. This is sci-fi progression cultivation, which is Will White's shtick. I haven't read any of this author before. I am curious about Cradle because I like progression fantasy. One of my friends really loves it. So if you like this one, let me know. And maybe I'll add this to the old TBR. 1st of July also had The Fourth Wall by Tao Wong. This is book 12 in the Thousand Li series, another progression slash cultivation series that I'd like to get to. Really love this cover. Keep that one in mind for the cover pick of the month. Moving on to the 3rd of July, we have The Union. This is Union of Man, book number 5 by A.M. Knight. And quite curious about this cover as well. It looks like a shield on the face in the background, and then a person in like a night get-up coming through a fire there. It is a book 5, so I can't go too much into it, but if you're liking the series, then you can go ahead and pick this book up like right now. On the 4th of July, we had Realms Beyond. This is the Asanya Saga, book number 1 by Nick Child, and this is epic YA fantasy. They thought death was the worst that could happen. They were wrong. When shy, clumsy Rico and his friends are unwittingly thrust into a magical realm teeming with fantastical creatures and ancient guardians, they quickly discover the stakes are far higher than simply finding their way home. Torn between evading a ruthless sorcerer, rumored to be the corrupter of souls, and rescuing their loved ones, the kids must unlock powers they never knew they had and confront death's inevitability. With the enigmatic Gifu and the battle-hardened warrior Wyron as their allies, Rico and his friends must navigate a perilous world, confronting terrifying foes and their own growing doubts about whether they're truly cut out to be heroes. As fear builds and their enemy draws closer, one question remains. Will they make it home alive, or are they already entangled in a far greater struggle they can't yet comprehend? Mystical, action-packed, and unrelenting, enter into a world where courage is tested, friendships are forged in death, and even the most unlikely heroes may hold the key to saving everything. On the 5th of July, we have Augury of Blood. This is by Michael Schultheis, and cool cover here. Intrigued by that horse, even though I'm terrified of horses, IRL. This is Legacy of the Umanga, book number 1. In a world of titans and shapeshifters, already interested, an ancient enemy rises from the shadows. Wandering gods and forces of darkness Wandering gods and forces of darkness vie for control. Their plot entangle the destinies of a warrior defending his tribe, a king's daughter with a terrible secret, and a great lord desperate to protect his son. Others are no less an enslaved Titan woman torn between duty and desire, a captive princess trying to thwart a madman, and a dark immortal seeking a better path. All find themselves pitted against a terrifying ancient enemy and a murderous conspiracy for vengeance. As armies march to war, men and women in disparate lands must navigate schemes of gods, titans, and shape-shifting dwari, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, if they hope to survive. Sounds interesting. Intrigued. On the 6th of July, we had Be Still My Undying Heart by Maria Kaiser. Apologies about the pronunciation there. This is a grimdark romance, which is a combo that intrigues me quite a lot. Vanessa died before Dalton could grant her immortality. Clinging to the faint hope that his wife might return, he subsists on blood and memories through the centuries. Like a phantom sleepwalking through time, always waiting, always searching, he drifts from town to town until the impossible happens. She's there. She might not remember him or their life together. She might have a different name and a different life, but he would know the heart fate stole from him anywhere. And now he's faced with an immortal's cruelest dilemma. Does he reclaim what's his or honor her new life? It's a decision that could seal their fates for eternity, but a vampire's heart doesn't beat without reason. Interesting. It looks like it's a novelette too from the cover, so a nice short one. I missed one from the 1st of July. Apologies. We are going to backtrack a little bit there. We also had the first Matter Saga Book 1, which is sci fantasy written by W.K. Gorbet. And this says, excuse me, Akari, first a slave, then a thief, finally accepts that he is alone in the world. But when he sustains a life-threatening injury, he is saved by a kind old man. In return, Akari sets off on a journey to find the power of the Phoenix in order to pay back the debt. Begrudgingly, he allows a determined pacifist to accompany him, representing everything he is not. Back in Phaedria, Hikoshi, Akari's old mentor, is firmly under the thumb of Alpha, an occult leader of a fractured nation. Dangling the bait of vengeance and the safety of his remaining friends, Alpha sends Hikoshi across the world to find ancient relics of the past, but his plans are revealed to be much more sinister than Hikoshi imagined. That one sounds good too. Beautiful cover here as well. Lots of that color just pops off the top of the page. On the 7th of July, we have Dahlias Darkness by Felicity Hewitt. This is the Shadow Knight Book 2, and this is fantasy romance or dark fantasy romance. He's going to hate me when he finds out. Spider's cool on this cover as well. The lighting in here is shit today. Apologies. But we're working with what we have. Hopefully the cover pops on the screen there. On the 8th of July, we have Debts of Fire. This is Sunbolt Chronicles Book Number 3 by Intissa, apologies, Kahani. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I love this cover too. Oh, this is a close one for favorite cover of the list. This says, a hunted mage, a cursed land, an impossible debt. Definitely giving me Avatar Last Airbender vibes. With a phoenix, we love a good phoenix. It is a book 3, so we'll mosey on away from that one. Speaking of book 3s, on the 11th of July, we had Ruins of a Shattered Dawn. This is the Elmerian Chronicles, book number 3 by Corey Ratcliffe, and this is epic fantasy. I really like these covers as well. This is a series I would like to try at some point. If war is upon us, then war becomes us. Food for thought. On the 13th of July, we had Wave Dancer, Daughter of Van Riss, book 1 by Nikki McCormack, and this is epic fantasy. Oh, I love that wolf. A lot of good covers this month. The war with the Southern Kingdoms ended before Vale was born. As heir to the throne, responsibility for maintaining peace will one day fall upon her shoulders. For now, she's more concerned with the upcoming trial to determine if she's a Minecrafter like her parents and the looming separation from her best friend Jason, Crown Prince of Sarket, who's fostering with her family. Time, distance, and political tension will challenge their bond, but surely they can overcome those things. When they ascend to the thrones in their separate countries, their friendship could be the catalyst of a new era of cooperation, if she makes it to that day. This has the sound of all the tropes that I enjoy so far. Vale has always been drawn towards the western coast, but when an ocean carries a new threat to their shores, her bond with Jason won't be the only thing put to the test. Her life is about to undergo a transformation, one she will have to search deep within herself for the courage to survive. Blurb gets my tick of approval. Wolfie boy, or girl, or they them wolf, gets my tick of approval in the back of that book. On July 17th, we have Angels of Sodom. This is by X.J. May, and this is fantasy horror, it looks like. Cool cover on this one as well. The white with the pop of colour is always quite pleasing to me. Two angels came to Sodom in the evening. This is their story. Sodom faces annihilation. Halil, angel of flowers, and Apidolon, the angel of bees. I know that's a real name. Can I pronounce it? No. Are sent to warn the city's last righteous man. Taking the forms of a travelling husband and wife, the two angels discover that in a city of countless pleasures, the desires of blood and flesh aren't easily ignored. They also learned they aren't the only angels present in Sodom. The town is protected by the monstrous Nephilim, the unholy sons of a harem of fallen angels, and the necromancer king Kedar Lamar. Taken prisoner, the two angels face temptations and torments designed to corrupt them. Dawn will find them sullied, soiled, and stained. Will the divine radiance be extinguished, or can the two angels find a way for their heavenly light to blaze even brighter than before? On July 18th, we have Alicia Dane. This is Bookslayer Book 1 by Will Chan. Another beautiful cover here. This is Sapphic Sword and Sorcery. You have my attention. Alicia Dane is tasked with slaying a monstrous creature on the outskirts of the desert-like outlands. Upon completing the mission and returning to the border town of Meritor, I got there, she is pursued by a mysterious maiden imploring her to help recapture a set of magical ancient orbs called the Artifacts of Eden from a pyromancer warlord. If he can decipher an age-old riddle, ultimate power will be his to wield. Oh, that sounds not great for the world. With no money on the table, Alicia reluctantly accepts the job, and along with her trusty steed Sable, they journey into the magical outlands to call upon the spirit of adventure. Because nothing is what it seems, Elisa? It's one of them. We'll soon discover that magic can exist in the smallest of pockets. Also on the 18th of July, we have Protocol of Valour by Timothy Wolfe, which is an epic fantasy series. I believe this is a novella in the Legacy of Bullum series. It says, where reality fails, dreams are eternal. 60 years before the events of Platinum-Tinted Darkness, Crystal Sorceress Everly Bennett leads her team of Guardians to defeat the Goddess of Fear's Harbinger. Instead of the temporary peace that would normally follow, Everly is met with a scheme by the masked god that threatens to take her son and lover away forever. If their freedom cannot be granted, Everly's family will find peace at the end of her scythe. And such is the Protocol of Valour. Say Protection of Valour to begin with. I meant Protocol of Valour. That sounds interesting. I've got to get to this series. It's on my 2025 reading list, but I haven't started it yet. On the 20th of July, we have The Wizard by Niranjan, no stranger to these lists. I think Niranjan has had one on here almost as often as Tao Wong. This is sword and sorcery and queer fantasy. In the land of Ea, magic runs in bloodlines, but it is also believed to be evil, with the Order of the Knights of Fedoris ready to crack down on anyone who shows any hint of magic. Stefan has hidden his magical ability all his life. When he and his friends are abducted and carried away to an island by the wizard who only want them for their magic, he realizes that learning to control his power may be the only chance of survival. But why is the leader of the wizard so interested in his friends, and why is the mysterious wizard Gurdon offering to help him? Beset on all sides and unable to trust anyone, Stefan must learn to accept his magic and to fight for everyone he holds dear, if he's to survive his captivity. But can he learn to master his magic while hiding his true potential from captors? On the 22nd of July, I have on good authority, this book is fantastic. This is the Crystal Heir, The Realm Reaches book number 2 by Brendan Noble. I still have the first one that I need to read, but this is epic fantasy and Gaslamp. Beautiful, beautiful cover here as well. A crimson sun rises with the dawn. That's all I can give you for book 2. Also, selfishly, one that I want to read. Also on July the 22nd, we have Jupiter's Ghost by David Gwynn, and this is science fiction, and it says, in the Orion Nebula, death is written in the stars. Gior, an alien outcast, joins the nebula whaling ship Jupiter's Ghost, a vessel haunted by loss and hunted by something far worse. Whispers speak of the Great Blue, a monstrous whale that shatters steel and devours entire ships. In a crew bound by desperation and old grudges, trust is scarce and survival is a thin hope. As Jupiter's Ghost sails deeper into the Orion Nebula, the line between hunter and hunted fades, and Gior must decide how much of himself he is willing to sacrifice for glory and for revenge. Not all who sail into the nebula will return. Some dreams are meant to be swallowed whole. Ooh, intriguing. Also on July 22nd, we have Shield of the Mothership, the latest installment of the Hybrid Helix series by JCM Byrne. Super cool cover. I need to know what's going on there. JCM Byrne, cover artist, so good. Like just at getting me to go, I have to know what is going on in there. Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is still your enemy. Ain't that the truth? Can't give too much more away with that one. On the 25th of July, we have one of my anticipated releases of the year. This is The Winds of War, The Tapestry of the Tarnished, Book 1 by Moshe Winter. So if you read Born and Fury, that is, I believe, a prequel. But the recommendation now with this book releasing is to read this one first. These threads are soaked in blood. The Astaris Empire is fracturing, its realm flogged by war and fanaticism. Empress Selene and her Gold Council vie to maintain control. But what is control for a nation built on blood and lies? In the east, the storied Ravi people cling to their independence, but as the ruinous First Legion of the Empire arrives at their walls, hope is decimated. Even so, Yue, the Dragon Rider, and Rizu, the Shadow Guardian, will lay down their lives to protect their home. And Kirana, High Chieftainess of the Ravi, vows to lead her people through, no matter the cost. Elsewhere, the prodigious Hatson pursues an education at the fabled Great Library of the Awakened. Ooh, I love that. But he quickly learns that curiosity is both a boon and a burden as his studies unveil cataclysmic secrets about the world that could change everything. It sounds so good. Also, very, very high on my anticipated release list is the finale to the Dragon Spirit series by L.L. McRae, coming out on July the 25th. Big day in this household, July 25th. That is The Broken Sword. And I've loved everything in this series so far, so I cannot wait to return and see what Finn and the crew are up to. I don't want to read the blurb. Also on the 25th of July, we have Lastlight by J.A. Andrews. This is the Enigma Lights book number 3 with a stunning red cover that we have here. And I can't read too much about this one either. J.A. Andrews is another author that I really need to get to and read. I just need to pull time from places. Also on July 25th, we have Proxima Station by Mike Molman. This is the Proxima Station Saga, book number 1, and this is humorous sci-fi or cozy sci-fi. It says, the sun is just another dot in the night sky. Good morning, Anthony. Anthony is preparing for his eventual PhD defense in anthropology. In less than a week, he'll be orbiting the planet Proxima Centauri B with 5 spacefaring races, known only to the US Space Command. The military will task him with profiling the aliens for their own dubious motives. His every action will be scrutinized by friends and foes alike. Anthony is not ready for this. We have another entry by Niranjan on July 27th. This is romantic fantasy, and it is called Endless Lives. 2 souls seeking salvation, 2 hearts that don't recognize each other. This is their last chance. When Adriel arrests the mage, Weston, the last thing he expects is for the man to break out of an unbreakable prison. Not only that, but Weston is also out for revenge, killing 2 of Adriel's colleagues. But when Weston saves his life and that of his team in a mission to save kidnapped children, Adriel finds himself questioning the man's motives, especially when it seems if Adriel's boss and Weston seem to be hiding secrets relating to him. Adding to the confusion is the visions that had been plaguing him ever since a raid on Weston's vision related to his past lives, which seems to be affecting his health. The only solution is to remember in full, but to do that, he needs to trust Weston. On the 29th of July, we have Black Cloaks. This is book number 4 in the Titan Hoppers series. The Titan Hoppers series by Rob J. Hayes, which is also progression and cultivation in the sci-fi sphere. These covers are cool as well. I have no idea what my cover pick is for this month. There's been quite a few bangers here. I think it may be the Tao Wong one. Okay, we're going to settle on Tao Wong's cover. The Enemy of Your Enemies. I won't go further, it's a book 4. Almost read that one. And to finish us off on July the 31st, we have a wager for Wanderlust by Michael Spearwater. A very alliteration heavy but wonderful title we have there. And I quite like this cover as well. Very intrigued by what's happening in the background here. Travel might broaden the soul, but Oliver Skirkid had enough of that during his time in the army. Now that the war was 5 years past and the world knew peace, he was looking to find some peace of his own. Gainful employment as a valet to a minor peer seemed the next step towards his goal. Amado Broom, Oliver's new employer, had passion and plans, but that was fast running short on time. With his trust pledged and his wedding to be in 3 months, he latched on to the perfect excuse for one last grand adventure, so far around the curve of the globe that they would arrive home in time for the church bells. And so Oliver was obliged to follow Broom across continents and oceans, through boudoirs and brew houses, all the while meeting new and strangely friendly people. For, like it or not, his employer's peculiar proclivities set the tone for an adventure the likes of which a humble valet might never have imagined. Fair, this is a self-indulgent conceit of a novel, a fantasy imagining of around the world in 80 days, set in a post-bellum era with a born violent libertine of a protagonist who's ready to charm and seduce his way across 3 continents and a couple of oceans. And he does, frequently and enthusiastically. Oliver has his work as a valet cut out for him. Perhaps it will all end happily for them both. Those are the books coming out in the month of July for the indie and self-pub lists. Quick reminder, I normally put at the beginning, I apologise. These lists do not come from me. They come from Rob J. Hayes and AJ Calvin over on their respective blogs. As always, they will be linked down below. If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next episode. Ciao.